We begin the programme this hour in Yemen, where long simmering tensions between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have burst into the open this Tuesday. Overnight, Riyadh bombed the port city of Mukalla, targeting a weapons shipment from the UAE. Saudi Arabia says those weapons were destined for separatist forces called the Southern Transitional Council, whose rapid advance in recent days has alarmed Riyadh. Now, in response this afternoon, the UAE says it will pull its forces out of Yemen altogether. Well, let's talk to Angela Diffley about this story. She's our foreign affairs editor who's been looking into events for us. Angela, look, quite a bit of alarm in the region has been caused by what we've seen in Yemen overnight. Just walk us through what the different governments are saying today.
Well, what is most remarkable is, of course, they were given an ultimatum, the United Arab Emirates. They had a security pact with Yemen. Yemeni says that is no longer a thing. And Yemen said, and Saudi Arabia said, you must remove your forces within 24 hours. And it appears they are on the way to doing so. They intend to do so. It does look a little as though the United Arab Emirates is very keen to downplay this. The Yemen government has declared a state of emergency. These two, of course, two pillars previously of that part of the world, very important, usually allies. We'll talk about that in a little while. But there is a great deal of alarm over this. Saudi Arabia feels threatened by this activity in southern Yemen, these military operations there. That is a part of southern Yemen where many migrants go from there into Saudi Arabia. There has been a lot of exchange in the economy. It's seen as a kind of an entrepreneurial region. It is the richest part of Yemen, and Saudi Arabia is unnerved by the fact that the faction that it is supporting in the complicated web that is Yemen is not the one that is gaining territory down there. And so that has really unnerved it. Now, the two people who will be watching this very much are, of course, Donald Trump and Israel, because what has happened here is that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates originally intervened in the civil war in Yemen, which started in 2014. 2015, they intervened to try to help the Yemen government push back the Houthi rebels. And they were both on the side of the government, but they have ended up supporting two rival factions that both oppose the Houthis. Of course, for the Houthis, this is extremely good news if there is an open dispute between the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. And anything that is good news for the Houthis is not good news for Israel. So Benjamin Netanyahu will be looking at this with great concern. Of course, recently he recognized Somaliland. That was seen very much about gaining some sort of foothold, doing some sort of deal with Somaliland so that Israel could have a presence in the sea around there. This is that Red Sea area, the Gulf, the Arabian Peninsula. It is a very volatile region. The other person, of course, Donald Trump, who has business interests in the Gulf and in Saudi Arabia, and will be watching this very carefully too. We might find that they have intervened, or that Trump has intervened behind the scenes to calm this thing down very quickly as the day emerges.
And look, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates for years were allies, weren't they? We talked about simmering tensions bursting out into the open. So sort of what's gone wrong here in that alliance?
Yeah, so they went in on the same side broadly. Saudi Arabia appears threatened by the growing commercial dominance of places like Dubai. At one stage in 2021, it actually said to companies, if you want state governments in Saudi Arabia, then you must move your premises to Saudi Arabia from Dubai. It appears to feel very threatened by the increasing commercial dominance of that region. Of course, the UAE now has diplomatic relations with Israel. There is a lot of exchange now between those two countries, and that as well is something of a threat to Saudi's dominance in the region there. Also in Sudan, they are seen to be backing, or said to be backing, opposing sides in that very bloody civil war in Sudan. The UAE backs the Rapid Support Forces, and Saudi Arabia backs the Sudanese government forces, the Sudanese armed forces, as they're called. They're on opposing sides in that as well. And they recently had a an unusually a rare dispute, really, in OPEC over crude oil, the baseline price for crude oil, where they openly clash. There is a growing rivalry, and this is a worrying escalation that will worry a number of different actors for different reasons in that whole region.